it's Kent with MrTruck.com, and I'm doing another exciting accessory review, and this is with Tuson. You remember me doing a lot of these with the big bands on the horse trailers, the ones the sensor goes inside your tire, behind your valve stem, and now we're doing Spaceballs again. We did one on my boat when it first came out, and they decided, well, this is such a good idea, it works so well, let's do it on semi-tractor trailers. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm here at Calendar's Tire Shop, and I'm with Steve.
Hello, how are you?
They've got a few trucks, and we're putting them on this, all 18 tires, and we don't have to balance them. It's so cool. You just open up the bead and throw that ball in there. The technician's doing really well here. We're going pretty fast, and then we're going to wire everything in. This is, instead of having a repeater, it's got a receiver. So we're going to hardwire it into the cab to the monitor, and all kinds of cool features on this. Of course, it'll tell you the temperature, it'll tell you the air pressure clear up to 203 pounds, but it's awesome. It's a great system, and hopefully we'll be able to get a bunch of these on semi-trucks and save them time and money and some tire wear. So come join us for the review. Oh, look at that ball. Look at that ball. Oh, cool. That was
40.
easy. Oh, that was great.
This is the 40, my man.
You're on video, Alfred.
I know, I have
famous.
Yeah, it's going to be a Hollywood. They're wearing sunglasses next week. Oh, wow. That was easy.
Easy,
That was too
man.
easy.
Easy.
Hey, making 50 cents off this.
If I can get you all in one picture or not.
Don't go away, MrTruck.tv. We'll be right back.
I just have flats all the time, so I just stop and take new tires.
Yeah. I mean, we're almost done. We're day 10. Holy cow.
Right here.
Boy, you're fast. So much shadow in there. Hold on. Where are you? Okay, there's the receiver box. And the receiver box has got a lot of cord. You put the receiver box, I guess it's called the rear bumper of the tractor. It's on that channel iron between the frame rails. And that's where you stick that on with 3M tape or screw it in or use zip ties. But we've got that. It's got a lot of cable. And then this is the other cable. This is the one that's got the connections to your monitor. It's got the power wires. It's even got a outlet for data if you want to figure out some data. It's got that, but 2 amp fuse there, so it's an inline fuse for it to make everything stay working. And this is like a wire divider. And then it's a good shot. There's the monitor. It's a pretty good sized monitor. It's got a suction arm on for your windshield. Then there's your data part under that box. That's where we're going to plug in the data port. And there, you can walk around with that monitor too. Yeah,
Seriously, that's the thing?
that's the thing.
So it just bounces in there and it shows.
And it shows you air pressure and.
I thought you had to put it on there.
No, that's one way of doing it, but not on Alco. Alco rims are small, too small holes. I don't know why. They got smallest holes in the industry, these Alco wheels.
Oh.
And you got to fill them up with a lot of air, so why in the world do you put small valve stems on them? Enough of them to make everybody happy. Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, there's our receiver box we put on the back bumper of this semi. Then we ran the wires along the cable, along the inside of the frame, all the way up to the cab. And that made it pretty nice. And then went through the front of the cab on the firewall to get in there. But yeah, we followed this C-channel all the way on the side, all the way to the front. A lot of wire loom up there. That's all the factory wire loom. Yeah. It's so weird, it's just a giant chunk of metal back here, which is really heavy. That's called a bumper by the manufacturer of the wiring system. So that's like the bumper. We put that receiver box right in the middle of that. That black wire you see there goes up through a hole in the firewall. We're going to put a grommet there, of course. But that's how we're getting the main cable from the receiver up to the monitor. Okay, there's the fuse block. We're going to put a hot wire in there and fuse it in a ground somewhere near here on this Peterbilt.
About the same size to me, though.
Well, there's a little nipple on one. That's how you line them up. See where that little nipple is? That's
Perfect. Oh, there we go.
yeah.
Just push that bad boy in.
You might want to put that someplace you know where it's at, just like the fuse and stuff.
Like so.
I wired it to your CV, so
Maybe I should turn the key on. Wired it to what?
it goes to your CV power.
Oh, all right. Yeah, there we
It'll
go.
just be
Got
key
power.
on, key off.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if you got to drive it a couple miles to get those to turn on. But I think that's the next thing.
Oh,
But let's see. Let me hit home. And then let's go truck. Diagnose, check wheel sensor, diagnose sensor. I think that's the one we're supposed to get. Oh, that's like what we used. Okay.
will you pull the screen off?
Yeah, certainly. It's your
There you
diagnostic
go.
thing. So see now they're supposed to either, I think they're supposed to populate themselves. Cool. There's the monitor. This is so cool. These balls have longer range than what the regular valve stem type sensors have, which is great for a semi. And you got a bigger screen for the semi. Of course, you need to with all the 18 wheels or 22 wheels or whatever you have. But also, this is hardwired to the receiver. Instead of being a repeater that repeats the signal to the cab, it's wired to a receiver that hardwired it to the monitor, which is really good. Let's see. We don't want to go to garage. Let's look at our tires here. And here we have diagnose sensor, check wheel sensor, make wheel ID, which we did all of that. And it goes through different processes where it's checking all the tires. And we've got, of course, 18 wired in here. And let's see, let's go back to the truck screen. There's the truck screen. Oh, that's what I did. Okay, I'm going to go to settings. And there it tells us what we set all the axles at. And we made them all uniform by pushing this top button, which was cool. So we got maximum pressure at 130 and low pressure 80. So the alarms will go off on either one of those. And we have it set for 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool. And we've saved all that. So what's the other one I want to look at? Let's see. Driving. Now there eventually, if you're driving, it populate all those numbers and show us, well, there we go. It's catching some of them. Is that the tractor?
That's the tractor.
Okay, there's the tractor. Shows all the pressures. It's going to go to the trailer. And we're setting still, so they're not rolling. So they automatically will shut off just to save the battery. So all that populated right. We've got everything working, and this is so cool. Well, there you go. There's the monitor. There's the tractor tire pressure and heat. And there's the trailer tire pressure and heat. It's in Fahrenheit. Isn't that so cool? So now you can look at it and see what's going on. And you'll know all these things and save you some of those expensive tires on these tractors and trailers. Well, this is Ken with Mr. Truck again. We are finishing up on this tire pressure monitoring system for semi-tractor trailers from Tuson. And I'm here with Steve with SAM Trucking, and he's been driving it quite a few miles. We want to see how he likes it. We're trying to finish up on all of our tests. So how's this working, Steve? Are you still liking it, or what do you think?
Yeah, I am. I've driven a truck. I've had this about a month now, maybe a little over a month. I've driven around 12,000 miles. And it's worked well for me. I haven't had any flats, but it did show me one time that I did have a low tire. It had a slow leak. I was able to get it in and take care of it. So I didn't ruin a tire going down the road because it let me know as I was going down the road. What I do like about it is I always check my tires every morning, run around with a hammer and beat on them. But this shows me exactly how much air I have in there. And when I drive, I shut the door and I drive 400 or 500 miles, and now I know that I don't have a tire going flat on me as I'm driving. That was always a concern because you don't know what's going on back there. You don't know if you're getting a low tire or not. So this will indicate if you are getting a bad tire. So I liked it enough where I'm probably going to put it in my motorhome. I have a Class A diesel pusher motorhome because with that, I run and then I sit for maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks at a place, and I don't like to run around and check the air on my tires before I leave again because when it sets you can lose air. So this, I just turn it on, it tells me how much air I have in the tires, and I'm on my way. And with that as well, when you're going down the road, if you're going to get a flat, it's going to let you know before you ruin a tire. So yeah, I have to give it a thumbs up. I'll probably keep using it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it's helping. What are the advantages of the temperature? It tells you what the heat, and you can change the ratings on it and whatever parameters you want. Does that tell you more about where the load is or anything else?
With a lighter load, you can see that the temperatures are lower. As the load increases, the temperature gets higher and the air pressure gets higher. Now, you can't use it as a load gauge by any stretch of the imagination, but it does indicate to you that you have a heavier load. Now, one thing, and I haven't had this happen, but one thing I think that could happen is if you have a tire and say the cords are coming loose on you, say something's wrong with that tire, but it's still holding air. It'll show, say, 110 pounds of pressure, but I think it's also going to show the heat going up in the tire as it starts failing. So that would be an indicator that you need to go to a tire shop and have them check that tire to make sure that the tire's not going bad on you. I didn't have that happen, but as I was driving along, I was thinking that I think that would indicate through the heat, because the tire might start getting hotter before it loses air, that you might be ready to lose a tire.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I know on horse trailers when the heat goes up and your pressure stays the same, that usually could be a brake issue or a bearing issue. So I think it's awesome to have that feature to look at both of them at the same time and save you a lot of money and prevent the problems.
Yeah, I agree. And the guys with the run the super singles, I would really want it on one of those trucks if it was mine, because you can leave and your tires are fine, but as the tire goes down, you can't see in your mirror right away that tire's losing air, that the tire's getting lower and flatter. And the next thing you know, boom, the tire could blow up. I think when it does that, you got a tire, you got a rim, you probably got a mud flap, you might have lights that you're going to have to repair. But if you could see that tire was going down by watching the gauges, then all you got to do is run back, pump a little air in it, you know, nurse it off to the next truck stop, or just call for a service truck right there and have them fix it. It's up to you how you want to handle it. But them tires on the super singles, I've seen, I don't know, countless times where they're sitting on the side of the road getting a new tire, and sometimes they're getting a new wheel, and it just gets very expensive. This could stop that. So just my thoughts.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks a lot, Steve. You have fun out there on the road.
I will, yeah. Good times.